Need for Speed Shift is the 13th installment of the racing video game franchise, Need for Speed. It was developed by Slightly Mad Studios in conjunction with EA Bright Light and published by Electronic Arts for Microsoft Windows, PlayStation 3, Xbox 360, PlayStation Portable, Android, iOS, Symbian, Windows Mobile, Meego, and J2ME in 2009. First, let's discuss these weird sounding devices. The Symbian is a discontinued mobile operating system. The Meego is another discontinued operating system last used on the Nokia N9, and the J2ME is just Java. There's also the iOS, Windows Mobile, and Android versions, which are all discontinued as well. Not the OSs, just the game themselves. I cannot download Need for Speed Shift on any of these devices. I downloaded some footage from YouTube, not the greatest quality, but that's all I got. The iOS looks very good, especially for its age. For a 2009 mobile graphics, it's pretty good stuff. There's some aliasing issues, but really not that bad. The draw distance is pretty great and the overall graphics are spot on. The lack of lighting effects does make it look a bit cookie cutter though. The Android looks brilliant as well. The aliasing seems to be better. It also depends on the device you play it on, I'm sure. The game seems to be the same as the iOS and graphically looks the same. Would have been great to play back in the day. Playing on the Nokia N9 seems to be the same game as well, and is looking pretty great too. It is hard to tell, but the draw distance does seem a bit less. The overall graphics seems to be the same, but like I said, it's very hard to tell. Then we get to the best of the best, the Java version. This bad boy looks like a Nintendo DS game that was made in 3 months. The motion is stiff and the graphics are pretty terrible. This is indeed the worst port of Shift. Now, this game also did come out on the PSP, and I was able to play this one, but this one is a standalone, the only one like this. The controls are extremely smooth, but when compared to the console counterparts, I'd say it's too smooth, as it's extremely easy to control on tight turns, whereas the consoles and PC is going for a more realistic approach. The graphics on the PSP look amazing. There is a ton more aliasing issues when compared to the mobile ports, but the lighting effects make this game shine, and to me this is way better. It adds a nice depth of field and makes the cars look really beautiful. If I played this game when it was first released, I'd have been a happy camper. Moving along to the main squeeze now, the PS3, Xbox 360, and PC. Comparing the frame rate, the PS3 is running at 720p resolution with 55 to 60 frames per second, and the 360 is, I assume, 720p upscaled to 1080p. The frame rate is the same with 55 to 60. I read online that the PlayStation 3 suffers and frames a bit more on heavier loads, but it's nothing that I noticed. The PS3 version doesn't even have any screen tearing, which a lot of PlayStation 3 games do have, so that's a nice added bonus. The PS3 also offers 2 times MSAA, whereas the 360 has 4 times MSAA. The PlayStation 3 does have faster load times, but that is due to the 15-minute 3GB mandatory install. Maybe annoying back in 2009, but pretty normal for consoles that have game installs these days. The PC is whatever you want it to be. Resolution is up to you, the graphics are up to your system. I maxed everything out, but for some odd reason, I only got about 45 FPS. My system by far exceeds the recommended specs. Well, I did some digging and it turns out this is a common issue with this game on PC. Taking a look at all the car's interior, we see that the PlayStation 3 is a lot darker, but the sky is brighter. Next we can see that the wire on the PS3 suffers from more aliasing issues versus the other two. The PC looks great and smooth. The background on the rearview mirror is ever so slightly sharper on the 360 versus the PS3. The PC is flawless looking. Also, the PlayStation 3's car is more blurry. Look at the text, it's harder to read. The tense wires are a bit harder to see versus the other two. The building is also more blurry, and the PS3 is even a tad closer to it. The PlayStation suffers from additional bloom effect. Everything is just brighter. To some, this might be a better thing, but not for me. It's kind of blinding. In the beginning of the PS3 and 360's launch, they threw bloom on everything, especially Oblivion. Yikes. Zooming in, the Ford logo is barely visible on either of them, but the Windows one looks best, and not sure how to rate the other two. Looking here, the tree on the PS3 shows more aliasing through the leaves. Nothing you'd notice while playing, I just wanted to mention it. Not too sure what to make of this. The camera guy in the foreground is kneeling on the PlayStation 3, and in the background he's standing. It's probably a random animation or something. Showing this because they all look pretty equal here. Take a look at the cars way at the top, very jaggy on the PS3 versus 360 and PC. Let's zoom in. I mean, the 360 isn't winning any beauty pageants either, but it's just worse on the PlayStation. Look, when I played these, I didn't notice a single thing between them. They all controlled the exact same, and to my naked eye, they all looked the same. It wasn't until I put them side by side and dissected them that I found some differences, and barely are there any differences. The PS3 visually is the worst one, but I mean, it is such a minuscule difference, who even cares? Play any version, you'll 100% get the same exact satisfaction. Well, that's all from me today. You guys have been great. Don't forget to subscribe, leave a comment, share this video, and hit that like button to help this channel grow. It really does help. Thanks again and take it easy.